Well, today we're cutting 2 pieces of wood. I was going to use pressure treated wood for the roof, the last 2 feet. Actually, it's 22 inches. But we can't afford that right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to coat this with this here. I showed you on the siding earlier in the video, if the videos are playing in the order that I did them. Anyways, we're going to coat both sides of this, let it dry thoroughly, and bring it up there. This is going to have 30-pound felt over it anyways, but this is going to be in the valley, so you know it may wick in the end here from the other roof and from here until I can get it properly sealed. I'm going to take you up on the roof now. Well, I hope the weather holds out. Here's what I got here. Now, as you can see, got 22 inches in here. It comes out to here. So I'm mainly concerned with the edge, maybe the first 8 inches or so of that plywood. Now, even though this is covered with tarpaulin, you're going to have water coming down here and still going under until I can get a proper valley made, and I'm waiting for some material to do that. So, giving you a bird's eye view of all this. This is what I'm talking about. Now, there'll be a little hard nail, and this is not nailed to the roof. It's just pushed in there and roof and cement underneath each leg just to keep it from breaking through maybe and causing a leak. As far as I know, the wood is okay under here, but who knows? I'm going over the top of this anyways. I'm going over the top of all this with some more rolled roofing when the time comes. But right now, I just want to get this piece in here, and we'll go from there. So what we're going to do is prepare those pieces of wood that I've got down here, that you can see on the bench down here. When it's time to re-roof this, I got to scrape this off, put tar on it, and put the rolled roofing over the top. It's not the right way to do it, but we got to do what we can afford to do. I hope the OSB crap underneath there is dry. This part of the shed here, this 4 feet out, actually a little more than 4 feet out, is wood roof. There's no metal underneath it. Over here, there's OSB crap on top of a metal roof. Feels pretty solid. I'm not sinking in or anything. All right, well, I better get going here. Just walking around on the roof with the camera and getting the job done. Alright, I cut these 2 pieces, which were originally 24 wide by 48 long, you know. Cut them down to 22 inches wide, cut them exactly the same, both of them. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take that paint and I'm going to paint this up, especially concerning the part that's going to go into the roof, into the old roof, at least 8 inches in. And I'll paint the entire top. It's all going to be covered temporarily with the tarpaulin anyways. So the only issue I'm going to have is where it comes in contact with the old roofing. It could wick in, so this is going to have to do until I can get... I've got flashing. Let me take a look at the flashing and see what I've got here. I've got flashing under here. I'm going to say it looks about 10 or no more than 12 inches. I would probably say 10. Anyways, I got that given to me by a guy that moved out of the area about 5 years ago. He was in the roofing business and he gave this to me. It's aluminum, but it's not wide enough, but I will use it as a base after I get that plywood up there, after it's painted and all that stuff. Now, to my surprise, this paint is drying pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pad. I found an extra pad, and I'm going to go over all this with that stuff. We got a bee up there now. Didn't take long for the bees to come out. I don't like bees, I hate them. Now if you take a look over here, I pulled back the tarpaulin. This is what I've got. 22 inches from the edge of the plywood over here until it meets the end of the trusses, which blends into the old roof. So what I'm going to do is I've put on a few first coat of the oil-based paint. So the next step is to join the two pieces of plywood, because from the far end to this end is 8 feet. These pieces of plywood are only 48 inches long, so I'm going to mate them together so that it becomes a 22-inch wide by 8-foot long piece. And I'll have to be very careful carrying it up on the roof not to break it in half. As you can see, I've got roughly the first, I don't know, 6-8 inches. This is the part, this is the bottom of it. These two here, this is the area that's going to come in contact with the roof like this. Now what I got to do is let this dry a little bit, enough so I can handle it. Flip them over, and I'll paint the top side completely. And the only way this is going to get water on it is when it mates into the other roof, due to wicking action, because there's going to be a tarpaulin over the top of this until I can get the valley done and the rest of the roof done. So what I got to do is take these two pieces after I paint the other side, and I got to mate them together so that there's one long 8-foot long by 22-inch wide piece that I can drop right in that section up on the roof. As I had mentioned earlier in the video, these video clips may not be all in order because I still got the front part to do here, and I still got to paint these, and I got all this done here, but we still got to put the roofing on here. So like I say, there's no certain order at which these video clips will go in. I try to keep them in order as much as I can, but it's not always possible. Trying to build something like this and then trying to edit the video too at the same time. It's a lot of work. Well, in here you can plainly see a lot better now. Like I say, I was going to remove all this, but why do it? You know, I'll just knock this out. Once I know I can get that valley sealed in. And then I got siding here to put on here. Okay, I've decided instead of trying to mend these two pieces together and carrying it up in a 8-foot long piece, we're going to secure this one, and then we'll bring that one up and screw it to this. This is the union plate here, an old piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and the bottom part goes against this part where it's painted here, goes against the old roofing. And after I get this nailed in place, then I'll take and I'll paint this top instead of getting myself all messy, because it gets very slippery trying to work with it and get it all over me. I'm total mess, you know. So paint the bottom part where I can't get at it, and the edge, which is already done, and then I'll just go over the whole top once this is nailed in place. So I'm going to bring this piece up, and then I'll bring that piece up and mend it into here and screw it in. Alright, Tommy's at work today, so we're going to be working solo here. So I'll join you up on the roof there and I'll show you what we're going to do. Very hard to work without getting paint on my hands, and that's why I didn't want to paint the top of this till I got it up here, get it on my camera and everything else. So it's very difficult. But anyways, here's how she's going in. Underlaps a little bit here, 3/4 inch, because I don't want to put another joist in there. So what it'll do is be be nailed on these joists here. And we're going to draw some straight edge here so we don't miss the mark here when we put the nails in. And we got to lift back this tarpaulin here a little bit so that I can get the edge of the wood to line up. You see what I mean? This is why I didn't want to paint this damn thing, but I had to do the bottom because I won't be able to get at it later. Okay. Alright. Alright. We got it nailed in. We were off a little bit, so we had to move the nails over here. The next piece goes up on here. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put a couple screws in here. Keep this up. I might even put a block underneath there too. I think I must be, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we got the other 4-foot piece to go over to here. That's the method to my madness. And then when that's done, we'll take the paint and we'll just go over this whole piece. Putting a heavy coat right on the end, right on the edge. Even though it's got one on there, on the bottom side, we'll make sure it's done good. And this whole tarpaulin will be covered anyway, so you don't get no direct rain on this, but we get water runoff from here and it goes under. But you know, I don't know how good that's going to be to nail. I hope the hell this damn OSB board isn't all rotted underneath here. You know, the right way to do it is take the roof off and do it all over. I not only can't afford that, it's too big of a job for me. I did this 15 years ago when I was a lot younger then. Alright, get it all screwed in, unionized here. With that piece that sticks up underneath is screwed here, screwed here. It's not a perfect fit because the plywood, you know, the frame isn't perfectly straight. I'm not a carpenter, you know, and one of my things come out a little too far here. But this is all going to be, I'll take the flashing and probably go in here, but the flashing isn't very wide. So, but it would help fill this in. But right now we got to paint this whole thing here, this whole area here. We got to paint it. Now that it's in, and we let it dry. Put the tarpaulin over the top of it. You know, put the weights back on it. Because the next step will be the drip edge, which I probably have to go out and buy because I don't think I got any left. And I got the 30-pound felt. We'll put that down. Put the 30-pound felt over the drip edge. The old roof goat. The panoramic view here. Hell, I gotta get to work. Playing with the camera all day and getting the job done. Alright, I got the paint on it. You can see it's much easier to do it, as I said, on the flat. But not only that, but trying to paint this and then bringing it up here, it's a mess. And I can't let it dry overnight because it is definitely going to be raining or snowing tonight. It's warm now, it's about 55 or so out. So I wanted to get this in. And I'll leave this open for a while. I'll let the air dry it as much as possible. And before the end of the day, I'll bring that tarpaulin down. It don't matter if the paint sticks to the tarpaulin. It's not going to be that bad. It's not like, you know, painting a second or third coat where it would really stick like hell. It soaks into the wood, so very little. I'm not worried about the tarpaulin. The tarpaulin can be used for other things. So what I'm going to probably do is to put some flashing in here, but before I do that, I'm going to tar the piss out of it right into here, and then I'm going to put flashing in there, and then I'm going to put 30-pound felt. I'll lay a bead of 30-pound felt in here when I do all this here. And that should hold me until I get the rolled roofing on this mess. Because a lot of this rolled roofing is 15 years old and it's ridged up here. And the roofer told me, that I asked him, knock these down. I'm gonna have to tar the hell out of them. I don't know, I might have to do that today before it rains. Wouldn't you know it, the sun came out, looked like it was gonna rain. As soon as I close up the wood wasn't dry, and I had to put the tarpaulin back over it. I wanted to leave it exposed because it's not dry and no choice. You know, like I say, you have to work between raindrops. It's the way it is out in New England. So, well, we're covered up. I'm not going to uncover it again because if I do, then it's going to cloud up and it'll rain. It's supposed to rain tonight anyway, so if you look here, baby puke, baby diarrhea paint, I did the walls. And I just went over the old redwood. Now, some of it did dry on the other side, so I'm going to put redwood over the whole thing. So it don't matter if it's a month from now when I do it. The main thing is I got to get this roof done. Well, for today, that's all I'm going to do. That might not be the end of the video, but it's the end for the work that's going to be done today. Well, I had to go over to Dunkin' today and get my own coffee. Because when I was up on the roof, nobody brought me any coffee. So I had to stop my work and go over to Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee. We're going to continue on with the roofing today. And like I had mentioned before, not all the videos are going to be in order, because I have a series of clips that are going to be for the roofing, and I have a series of clips for the walls. So you may see parts of the shed that are not complete in one series of videos and more complete on another series, if you know what I mean. So the clips, try to get them in order as much as I can, but we're concentrating on the roof right now. So I'm going to get back onto the roof once I finish my coffee here. I think I better go. Well, good morning again, everyone. Well, this is the start of the roofing portion of the shed, but it's only the very beginning because I can't officially put the rolled roofing on. First of all, I don't have it yet. Second of all, it's too cold. But what I am going to do is to put the flashing in, and I'm going to tar it with the roofing cement here. I'll take you over to the shed and show you what I've done since the last video. Well, I put the coating of the oil base on everything here. Went over this like I said I was going to do. The whole thing will be covered with the latex redwood, I should say. But this will keep it protected because the weather's supposed to get pretty bad tomorrow and Thursday. So because of that, what I want to do is to put some flashing up on the top. So we're going to take you up on the roof shortly after I get my ladder over here. And you can look at the old roof goat at work. Well, the flashing is not as wide as I thought. It's only 10 inches. I thought it might be 12. But that's going to cover the valley part, and then I'm going to put the felt over that and tar it. And that'll should keep most of the water out until I can get this roof done properly. So I'm going to cut off about maybe 8.5 feet or so off of it and bring it up on the roof. Bring my roofing nails up there and my can of roofing cement and a trowel, and I'll get to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to videotape this. It's going to be awful messy. I can set a camera up there. I'm going to try to set a camera up there on a tripod.